Hello everybody, my name is you, and welcome back to Let's Play Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion. In the previous episode, we defeated our first boss of this campaign. Took a little while than expected, but now let's move on towards line E. Don't get psyched out, Bodacious, Rotation Station. We're finally going across in alphabetical order now. Oh, it feels so organized and great. Whoa, this level! This level, I like this level, I like this level, I like this level! Please collect all 8 data points. Destroy each container and touch each data point to collect them. To succeed, you need to stay mindful of your structure's rotation. Floors will become walls will become ceilings. Stay focused and watch your step. This is all kinds of awesome! Alright, so basically the gameplay gimmick of this level kind of works like that one level we were in a couple episodes ago, where we were like inside a dome-like area and we had to activate a couple switches to be able to make the platform go around. But this one, the difference is that rather than you activating when it rotates, this will automatically rotate after a few seconds. If you're getting confused on which direction it's going to rotate at, keep an eye out for this thing. That will give you a good indication on which way it's going to be going. So, take care of that. There's going to be 8 of these things everywhere, and luckily, when you die, it still saves your progress, so you don't have to recollect the same ones over and over again. Unless you get a game over, but I might be wrong about that. Ah! Well, I was hoping to be able to get through this in one try, but that's not going to happen. Oh, well, luckily we got to this one anyway, so yay! 4, halfway there! We're halfway there! That's like the most popular Bon Jovi song in the world, but personally speaking, I think a lot of it is more... I think he has a lot better songs. Like, personally speaking, Saturday Night Gave Me Sunday Morning is probably my favorite that he's ever done. Although there's also other pretty good ones like This House Is Not For Sale and things like that. Don't know why I'm talking about Bon Jovi in the middle of a Splatoon video, but this is my channel, I can do whatever I want. I can make a cooking channel video thingy, and there's nothing you can do to stop me, except I'm not very good at cooking. Like, the only thing I am pretty good at with cooking-wise is like a burger, but it's like one of the most basic things in the world, so I'm not trying to serve that warrants bragging rights or anything like that. Speaking of burgers, the other day, it's been on my bucket list for a little while to try an Impossible Whopper at Burger King, but I never really had the guts to try it because I don't have good experiences with vegan burgers. So, the other day I finally had the guts to try it out, and it was alright. It wasn't like the best thing in the world, and it definitely did not taste like a real hamburger, but it was decent. If you're a vegetarian or a vegan or anything like that, then it is definitely a good alternative, but yeah, it's not something I had to choose. As it is, I try not to get fast food burgers that often. I usually prefer homemade burgers. And we're not talking about burgers anymore because I'm getting hungry. Please destroy all the crates before time runs out. When breaking crates, inconsistency is key. In the order in which you destroy them is also important. So this one can be pretty challenging, but before we go in there, I gotta say, cartridges! So many cartridges! I like cartridges. Like, you got a Super Nintendo cartridge right there, you got a Nintendo 64, is that parroting something? That looks like it could be... That looks like a Zelda cartridge. That's probably what it is supposed to be a reference to, because you got like the Triforce right there, and the font looks like Ocarina of Time. That's pretty fun. I always love looking at these. What could this one be? I want to say F-Zero, but I'm not quite sure. I don't have a lot of experience with the F-Zero games. But, anyway, none of that matters right now, because Destruction! Yay, Destruction! So, the primary gameplay gimmick of this level is that you need to destroy all these boxes as quickly as possible. Yay! I'm not very good at this level, so it's going to take a couple tries. And you're going to hear the button mashing on the controller throughout the entire level. Man, that might be really... I'm not doing good at this one at all. Oh well. One thing that's worth mentioning is that the timer will freeze for a moment if you're in the middle of a splashdown, so that gives you a little bit more time, but only enough time for you to finish the animation. Alright, so this level, the big thing with this one is that it really does come down to how efficient you're able to use your splat bombs and things like that. Because splat bombs are definitely going to be beneficial in trying to complete this level, although they do consume a lot of ink, and that's not very great when you're trying to destroy things like this. Try to destroy the ones that have a splashdown, but keep in mind that a splashdown on its own is not enough to destroy the tougher boxes. Yeah! We did it! Test pass! Exclamation point! And Agent 8 is adorable! Alright, so something that's worth mentioning is that the past couple episodes I've done about 2 or so levels per video. The reason for that is because I want to have this Let's Play, Octo Expansion, and on a very specific episode number. And to be able to reach that, for the next couple lines, we're going to be doing more levels per video. So just keep that in mind. Now this one, we could use a Rapid Blaster, but I don't like Rapid Blasters. So we're going to go with a Burst Bomb. Bring it on! This area is home to many industrial Squee-Gs. I love industrial Squee-Gs. Keep in mind that Squee-Gs respond most particularly to bombs and explosions. Industrial Squee-Gs are unparalleled paragons of cleaning efficiency. Take care that you don't get cleaned up yourself. Alright then, so we got to have Squee-G. It's just so cute. I love these things. They're like my favorite thing in Splatoon ever. I love Squee-Gs. This level itself, don't have a lot of fond memories with this one in particular because of reasons I don't feel like explaining right now. But it's a Squee-G, and anything that's a Squee-G, and that makes me happy. Alright, so let's head over that direction. Can you go away? Maybe it wasn't the best idea to not have a Rapid Blaster because, well, you know what? I don't like Rapid Blasters, so we're not gonna use it. We're gonna do this with a Burst Bomb, and we're gonna like it. We're gonna have the Squee-G go this way. Alright, so basically what you want to do is that you want to have this not make me fall off the platform. Whew, that's close. It's always very nerve-wracking when you fall off and the Squee-G is like right behind you. It's like one moment they're all super adorable and things like that, but then the next minute they're going to destroy you in cold blood. 2 Burst Bombs are enough to take care of that, but what am I missing? Oh, I'm an idiot. Alright, I always forget that you have to take care of all the enemies before the launch pad to appear. It's always this particular section that I always forget about that, so that's a little bit problematic. But we go over this direction, use the Burst Bombs to activate the swirly switch of swirliness, and activate the launch pad to go onwards. The sparkly effects are super pretty, this is such a pretty game. Oh, this part. I don't like this part. Right, come here, Squee-G. Who's a cute little Squee-G? Who's a cute little Squee-G? Who's a cute little Squee-G? You are! Mush! Mush! Onwards, my pet! If I did live in the Splatoon universe, I would totally have a pet Squee-G. They look like little kitty cats, and the way that they move their tail is so cute. Get away from me! Well. Okay, go that way, cheat that way. This might take a few minutes. Might be a good idea to activate this thing. I'm not very good at aiming with this thing. Squee-G, go that way! Squee-G, go that way! That's all I'm asking of you! This way! Stay right here! Stay in the corner! Go over there. No! I really like this part. It's so freaking irritating and the Squee-G to stay in place, and these stupid jerks keep shooting at things, which makes the Squee-G keep going, and then I keep taking damage because these jerks are evil. Stay in place, you stupid Squee-G! Okay, fine, you know what? You know what? We're gonna do this the cheap way. There's a strategy in this area, and I always try to avoid it whenever I can, but it seems like nothing else ever works. So I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go up here and take care of you from up here. I don't like doing this because it feels cheap, but we're doing it this way. We're gonna like it. We missed. How did we miss? We were 2 feet in front of you. There we go. Are you kidding me? One more. Come on! It's always a third shot I can never get. There we go! My goodness. This part is so obnoxious. But we're free. We're free. And oh my god, Squee-G, stop moving. Go over here. This way. This way. There's plenty of ink for you to consume over here. There we go. Okay. Now we can go onwards, if I can get on the conveyor belt thingy. Okay, the worst is over. The thing about this level is that, again, I don't mind it. I think this is a really fun level and has a lot of really fun ideas, but that part in particular is so annoying that it kind of ruins it for me. I'm honestly surprised that we had more trouble here, though, than we did on Power Station. Like, that's definitely going to be one of the things that's always going to stick out in my mind whenever I look back on the series, was just how insanely lucky we were on Power Station. Alright. Wait for the ink furler things to go by. Those aren't ink furlers, but I don't remember what their names are off the top of my head. Okay, this part here can also be a little bit tricky. This level is a bit longer than I remember it being. Okay, let's head over here. Come on. Jump! Whee! Beautiful bounce. Aw, thank you, Pearl. Alright, we got you. Hey! There we go. Come on. Fine, we refilled the ink the old-fashioned way. Man, that cleaning robot is working overtime. Do they have Squee-Gs like this? Clean up the regular Turf War ink? Because I know in the lore of Splatoon, the ink evaporates after Turf War battles, but I wonder, do they still have Squee-Gs like this for anything that maybe didn't evaporate or anything like that? I don't know, that'd be pretty interesting to think about. But anyway, how did we survive that? Huh? Huh? Oh, now I die. But that was pretty cool. We were literally right on the fence. Okay, so this area right here, the best strategy that I could recommend is have the burst bomb angled at such a way that it's going to make it so that the Squee-G is facing forward when they go swimming towards it. So that way you'll be able to align this conveyor belt thingy properly. It's a little bit tricky to do, but after you experiment for a little bit, you should get the hang of it. We did that twice in a row! Man, James likes to say that he's the Mario god. I think I might be a Splatoon god. But now we can go over here and complete the level. Test passed! Exclamation point! So, on the collab channel game, James and Pancake are doing a Kirby's Epic Yarn versus, and there's one part where Pancake mentioned an exclamation point that activated a puzzle, and James brought up how much I mention those things. Do I really talk about exclamation points that often? And now for the last level we'll be playing in this episode, the Bomb Station. Hold R to aim your throws more precisely. Jump while you're on an ink rail for extra air. And try throwing bombs while jumping. Okay, so I have a fun story about this level. Whenever I'm playing this level on my own time, for whatever reason this just always happens. I never do it on purpose, but I like playing Splatoon whenever I'm practicing for these Let's Plays or anything like that. I like watching Hulu or Netflix or anything like that as background noise. And on my own playthroughs, whenever I'm playing in handheld mode, it always seems like I'm watching Parks and Recreation whenever I'm playing through this area. That's never on purpose or anything like that, but it's just something that always happens. Like this last time, I was watching that one Parks and Recreation episode where... actually, I shouldn't say this because that's a spoiler. It was a later season episode finale, and I shouldn't talk about anything like that because of spoilers, and I don't feel like spoiling a TV show. On the topic of Parks and Recreation, I feel like I'm talking about my acting class a lot during these videos, but there was this one thing that happened where my co-actors and I, in my acting class, we were talking about TV shows. I need to refill my ink. So many cartridges, it's such a beautiful sight. And there's Nintendo 64s everywhere. Oh, man, I can't wait for us to get to episode 64. Alright, but anyway, as I was saying a moment ago, in my acting class, my co-actors and I, on a break, we were talking about TV shows. And we got on the topic of Parks and Recreation. And I mentioned how Ron Swanson was my favorite character on that show, and one of the ladies looked at me and was all like, "You remind me of Ron Swanson." In a good way. I'll take that as a compliment because Ron Swanson is my favorite character on that show. Why am I talking about Parks and I'm talking about a lot of off-topic stuff in these videos. It's my channel, I can do whatever I want. Let's go that way. We need to destroy the boxes, because Box Boy is evil. That's the next episode of Game Theory. Do they still do things like that? Because I know that like a huge chunk of their theories revolve around some kind of good character actually being secretly evil, or vice versa. I know a huge chunk of their theories are like that. That's kind of the reason why I stopped watching them, was because a lot of their theories were just kind of becoming more or less the same. Like, nothing against the guy that actually makes those videos or anything like that, but still. Alright, take care of you. This area can be pretty tricky if you don't know what you're doing, but one of my favorite strategies for this area, if we did it properly, was to have the Splat Bomb, was to throw the Splat Bomb at the area where the Octoling would have spawned. Unfortunately, we didn't do this properly, so we gotta do it the old-fashioned way. Let's try this. We don't have any ink. Oh, come on! There we go. There's also a pretty good strategy right there to try and get the Octoling trapped in your ink so they can't really get away. That's probably a good strategy for online multiplayer as well, now that I think about it. Oh my god, the suction bomb had a face! That's so cute! I never noticed that before. But yeah, we did a lot of progress in line E, so that's where we're going to be calling it quits for this episode. So thank you all so much for watching, and now on to the imaginary land of alternate save file. Hello lovely people, and welcome to the imaginary land of alternate save file. Today we'll be playing a Schellendorf Institute in Splat Zones. So, in case you're going to tell by how much longer this video is going to be, there's not going to be a whole lot of time to go over weapons this time around, so rather than go through 2 or more classes of weapons, we're only going to be talking about one this time around, and that is the last of the Splat dually weapons, which just so happens to be one of my favorite weapons in the entire game, the Tetra Dualies. These are so cool. I've praised these things several times throughout the Let's Play, and while I have been using the Octobrush more so often in the past couple episodes, Tetra Dualies are definitely one of my favorite weapons in the entire game. If I were to rank them, it'd probably be Slosher, and then the Dark Tetra Dualies, and then the Blah Blah Blur, and then the Undercover Umbrella, which we haven't talked about yet, and then the Octobrush. I have to go back and forth over whether or not I like the Octobrush, or the blah blah blah, or the undercover umbrella more. But my two favorite weapons are definitely the Slosher and the Dark Tetra Dualies. But that's not important right now. The important thing right now is that we're talking about the Tetra Dualies, which, fun fact, I often mispronounce these as the Dark Tenta Dualies rather than the Dark Tetra Dualies. So that's a bit of a fun little thing that I mispronounce all the time. The Dark Tetra Dualies come with an Auto Bomb and a Splashdown, unlocked at level 14. And speaking of Splashdown, my voice commands the post-commentary game. But yeah, the Auto Bomb, I don't use them too often, but they are pretty good for seeking out opponents. But Splashdown is definitely one of my favorite of these special weapons, so it's definitely something that I really love using in this game. Next up is Camp Triggerfish on Tower Control. Alright then, so the second type of Tetra Dualies is the Light Tetra Dualies. I haven't played around with these too often, but looking at the sub and special weapon, yeah, I'm definitely glad that I use a Tetra Dualie more. The Light Tetra Dualie comes with a Sprinkler and an Auto Bomb Launcher unlocked at level 21. So, yeah, I said before that I'm not a big fan of the Auto Bomb, so, yeah, it's not really that appealing to have an Auto Bomb Launcher on this thing, although Sprinklers are pretty good. The big reason why I love the Tetra Dualies amongst all the other ones in this game is the fact that this one can roll 4 times rather than just 2, and you can continue shooting while you're rolling. The downside, though, is that it seems like the accuracy on this dualie isn't quite as good as some other weapons in this game, but this is still by far my favorite dualie type in the entire game. And unfortunately, that's the last one we'll be talking about during this Let's Play. In the next episode, we're going to talk about the last line of weapons, the Brellas. I'm really looking forward to that because I absolutely love Brella weapons. So something very interesting about this episode in particular is, if my math is correct, and we're only counting unique stages and not stages we've seen a couple times before, like I believe we've seen Mori Towers on Clanbooks a couple times after Let's Play. If we're only counting unique times we've seen a new stage on a new mode, this is the 100th match in the Let's Play. So, I've been very open about the idea of showing off every single stage and every mode in this game, and if we did that, at minimum, we would have had to have shown off 115 matches throughout the game, which means we're only 15 matches away from finishing off that idea. And this isn't even taking into account anything else like Splatfest or repeat stages or anything like that. Now that we've demonstrated the 100th match of the game and conquered Tower Control forever, we're ending this video off here. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion, and until next time, leave gear to you. Oh yeah.